Hey everybody, Joe here. Nice of you to join me today. Thanks for coming. Um, okay, this is basically going to be a freeform vlog here. Just some things I wanted to update you guys on and let you know what's going down and what's happening. Um, some of you may have already seen on my not only on my personal Facebook page but also on my on the show's page. I got some vape mail yesterday. I got the Soter um, Soter tank from CeraVape, which I've been rocking for about the last 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, something like that, on my Kanger K-Box Mini. Playing with that, seeing what it's like. And, well, I'll give you some first impressions on it. I also got in the mail the version 2 of the mini tank, the CV tank mini. This is an upgrade to the version 1, which I did a review on a couple of weeks ago on MVP number 7. Oh, something's tickling me on my nose here. So yeah, these things came in. So I've been working with them, and I've been rocking this the solder tank now, like I said, for the last few hours. I'm using my creamy raspberry milk. This is an experimental juice that I've been playing with for the last couple of days. I just whipped this up the other day. And because it's an experimental juice, I've been playing with it in my K-Fun 4 clone to evaluate the flavor profiles and stuff like that. So I'm still working on it. I'm comparing the way the flavor of the solder is against the way the K-Fun 4 produces it, because that's my standard. So yeah, the solder tank is, I'll tell you, this is a nice little tank. Really is. On first impressions on this are that this tank has got a lot going for it. It also has a couple of things that, well, I really think could be slightly changed, but that's my own personal opinion. The tank is made of stainless steel. It's got a Pyrex glass tank on it. Excuse me. It's 26.025 millimeters in diameter. Its length from the base here, not including the 510 connector, from the base to the top here is 52.15 millimeters. With the tip on it that comes in the package, it's 70.175 millimeters. The airflow tank holes, which has got 2 of them here, one here and one over here, measure 6 millimeters wide by 3 millimeters tall. Pardon me, I'm just referring to my notes. I've been taking some notes while I was playing with this thing. The airflow tip here, this tip has got an airflow control adjuster on here that you can open up to get even more airflow in it. I think you can see it there. Yeah, that's got the airflow hole on that is 4 millimeters wide by 2 millimeters tall. This thing's got a humongous 8 milliliter capacity, and I'm telling you, it's this thing turns around and this thing just, wow, just ate up the juices. I can say there's a full 100 milliliter unicorn bottle, and that thing was filled right up to the neck when I started with it. So The suggested wattage on this tank is between 25 and 40 watts. It has 3 dual coils in there. Now it comes it comes in 2 configurations: the 0.9 ohm coils and the 1.2 ohm coils. I have the 1.2 ohm coils in here. As I said, there are 3 of them, 3 dual coil heads in here. Let me show you what the coil heads look like. It comes out to a 0.4 ohm total resistance for the unit when it's sitting on your box. Now this is one of the coils. I hope can you see the airflow hole there? Let me see. Can you see the airflow? Yeah, okay. The airflow, it's got 4 massive airflow holes down here at the bottom. And it has these knurly little bits on here for grabbing onto it, as well as an O-ring here to keep the juice from flowing all over the place. Because juice comes in from the tank, flows all around this portion here. These 2 coils are really, really nice. They're easy to take in, easy to put to take out and put in. This is the new improved airflow holes on the coils that are used on the Mini and on the Hygieia. As you can see, they're quite a bit different from the ones that are used on the Soter. So yeah, you can't go using the Mini's tips on the Soter and vice versa. So yeah, it's a nice little unit. Most of the times I've been rocking it without this stock cap that's on here. The stock cap that's on here is 18 millimeters long from the base here to the top. It's got an outside diameter of 12 millimeters here at the top, and down here at the bottom of where it goes into the unit itself, it's got a 8.6 millimeter diameter. The inside diameter here at the tip is 11.175, and the diameter down here at the bottom, the inside diameter is 6.425. Now, this thing will not, I repeat, not accept a standard 510 drip tip. It won't. Because if you look in here, you see the tube coming up from where the coils are, comes right up in the center. That fits inside of this tip. And this here fits around that and fits into this hole. Fits in pretty nice, except that the O-ring that's here on this cover, this fill port cover, is slightly anemic. You need to beef that up, by the way. I don't know what to tell you. The only thing I can say is that if the standard 510 drip tips inside diameter is 4.25 millimeters, and this has got an inside diameter of 6.425 millimeters. So if you wanted to get a drip tip other than this, or the standard drip tip that's used on the Minis, you'd have to turn around and get one specifically made for this unit. Yeah, that's a con in my book on this. Another thing is that this thing is so damn airy. With this thing wide open, I'm just going to replace this standard drip tip that it comes with the Mini's drip tip. This thing is just so damn airy. It's for the cloud chasing crew. Okay, it has got massive amounts of airflow in it, almost to the point where it's too much airflow. I have been rocking this thing here at 27 watts. It's got a 0.3, 0.4 ohm. Yeah, it's not gonna focus in, is it? I've been rocking this thing at that 27 watts. The recommended wattage is between 25 and 40 watts. I found that the coils won't keep up with a 70-30 VGPG juice at 40 watts. It just won't. I've already gotten at least one dry hit off of it. Immediately backed it down. 30-35 watts seems to be about the maximum that you really can run this at before you start getting dry hits. My K-Fun I run at 18.5 watts. I run the 70-30 juice in there. That's what I mix. Why I mix 70-30 juice, because it can handle it. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that. But in order to use this in here and get some halfway decent cloud production on this, I have to really close off the airflow hole down to that little hole that you see there. So let me give you an idea what this thing's running like here. Now that's with the air hole closed off, and like I said, at 27 watts. I'm going to open this thing up so you can see what the vapor production is on this thing, with the air hole wide open. As you can see, it's wide open there. You can actually see all the way through. You can actually see all three of the coils in there. So I'll give you an idea what this is like. That was a full lung hit, and that was the amount of vapor that came out of that is almost like a mouth to lung amount of vapor. The only way you're going to be able to get more vapor production out of this is go down to maybe a 50-50 or a 55-45 ratio of VG to PG. This is designed as a cloud chaser, but it's for some reason it's not keeping up with the high VG juices. Like I said, it's got massive amounts of airflow. It's got, as a matter of fact, I think it's actually got too much airflow. And they include this tip, this 510 tip on here that's got even more airflow, allows in even more airflow. And it's just like, with that on there and both of them wide open, it's like you're breathing. You can breathe right through it, and with very little restriction. It's just way too much airflow on this thing. Not only that, but these coils here are not keeping up with the wicking. They're really not keeping up with the wicking. I understand from Benny. Hi, Benny. Over at Benny's Pizza, who's the distributor who sent this over to me for review. They're coming out with a high VG coil soon, and hopefully I might be able to get my paws on one or two of them so I can just try it out. I don't know. We'll see. But this is way too airy. Just way too airy. I'm going to try. I'm going to see if I should have enough VG left to mix up a 50-50 version of the creamy raspberry that I'm trying here, and see if that works. But that'll be another day or so. I'll mix up a small tester bottle and see how that works. Yeah, so with a high VG juice and the coils that come in here right now, it's not. You just saw what the vapor production on this was like. Let me show you what the vapor production on my K-Fun 4 is. Same exact juice. This is at 18.5 watts. This is a 1.6 ohm coil. So that's uncarbed. This is what it looks like when you carb it. That's what this, excuse me, that cloud is what this should be producing. When the K-Fun can produce more clouds, and that's the only thing with that is that I have the long. The only difference between that and the standard K-Fun 4 clone is that I have the long mode chimney on there, and that actually cuts down on the flavor a little bit. So, but that is like also 2 to 3 times as flavorful as what's on here. Now I'll tell you, I'm not tasting any cotton. I'm not tasting any artifice on the vape on this. It's a crisp, clear vape. The airflow is just muting the flavor so much it's not even funny. You really need to cut down on the airflow on this thing. This thing is just way too damn airy. Even with the standard drip tip on, the standard drip tip is actually making it better than this extra added airflow tip. So Bonnie and your bosses, if you're listening, you might want to either do one of two things. Either make the standard drip tip here available for an extra couple of bucks, $2, $3, something like that, or include it, or be included in with the tank, because with this thing closed down to maybe like a 2 millimeter diameter air hole here, it's producing just barely acceptable vape on it. So like I said, this is just my first impressions. I really haven't gone tearing into it too much. Tried it with, like I said, with other VG PG ratios and to see what's going on with it. So I'll have to let you know on that. This is my, like I said, I've only been looking at this now for the last 4 or 5 hours or so. So yeah, first look. Oh, and like I said, this is a 26 millimeter tank. So you see, this is a 22 millimeter box from here to here. If you don't have a 26 millimeter mod to put this on, you're going to get overhang. It doesn't bother me so much, but some of the people out there who are slightly OCD might have a bit of a problem with this. Either that, or they see about coming up with a beauty ring or some kind that you can put on here that would take it down to 22 mil. So that way people who are very particular about how their tank looks on their mod might have an issue with that. So yeah, like I said, first look, a couple of things I've noticed. So yeah, getting on to other things. One, thank you, Jeannie, for the t-shirt. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. It feels wonderful. It's nice. It's soft. It's cuddly. So yeah, thank you very much. Second, next, yesterday, I got hit up on Facebook by a group called Regulator Watch. They put out another video. They have 2 videos on vaping out. The first one is a basic overview of what vaping is, and a couple of an interview with somebody in there. But this latest one is really, really important, and this goes to the folks up there in Canada, because that's where these folks are out of. It seems that up in British Columbia, up in the far northwest, um, the health department up there is about to rewrite the regulations on vaping, and basically put in some really not great verbiage into their laws on tobacco. And what they're doing is, from what I understand from the video, is they're just putting in an addendum into the law that says that wherever tobacco is written into this law, they're going to be including vaping in, basically turning it into another New Jersey. No vaping in vape stores, no testing of juices in the stores, um, no vaping in public places, all that kind of good stuff. Wherever you cannot smoke now, you will not be able to vape there either. According to the video, the last day for comments on this is November 20th. This is November 17th. And you guys up there in BC need to get on this like yesterday. You need to turn around and get every vapor in British Columbia to get everybody that they know, every member of their family, every person who loves them and wants to see them not smoking but vaping, needs to get on this and needs to kind of do up there what we did down here with the White House. Basically light up their phone system to the point where they can't even make an incoming or an outgoing phone call. Yeah, you need to turn around and really need to get on this like I said, like yesterday. You also need to remind these regulators and these politicians who are going to be putting these laws in to effect that each and every one of you is a voter, or you should be. You need to remind them that their jobs are wholly and totally dependent on your goodwill. And if they don't take care of you, you will not take good care of them. In other words, you won't vote them in again. And you will wind up basically sending them to the unemployment line. Maybe not for too long, but they will be on the unemployment line because they won't have their jobs anymore. So you need to basically let them know in very nice, calm, sedate, okay, don't hang me for saying this, typical Canadian fashion, not New York / US fashion where you get on there and start cussing them up one side and down the other. No, you need to turn around, you need to get on to them and tell them very nicely, very politely, that you and every member of your family does not want these regulations to go through, or at least if they want to put through these regulations, set up a special class of regulations just for vaping, where the vaping has their own regulations, allowing vaping in vape shops, other things not for sale to under 18 minors, child safety caps, that kind of thing. But yeah, these you got to tell them that these regulations, as they're going to try and put them in, really needs to be killed a very quick and horrible death. So, and if they don't want to turn around and do this, you go and turn around, make sure and they don't get reelected. So, yeah, get everybody you know, family, friends, every vapor in BC out and light these people's phone lines up. Let them know. Tell them exactly how you feel and follow. Not only call them, that's an important thing to do, because when they hear a voice at the other end, it's not like it's being generated, an email is being generated by some email demon. Um, they know that there's actually a voter there. And you say, hi, I'm so and so, I live blah, 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 blah. I am not in favor of these new vaping regulations. I do not want to see them enacted. Please make sure that you do not vote for it. Otherwise, I won't be voting for you. Something like that. I'm sure you guys will figure it out. You have your conventions up there better than what we have down here sometimes. So, you know, um, yeah, get on this and remind them very, very stringently. And I'm sorry to keep harping on this, but remind them that if they don't take care of you, they're going to be a -1. They're going to be a -1. They will not have their jobs. And each and every voter out there, whether it's in Canada or here in the States or anywhere for that matter, where these regulators and legislators are trying to legislate vaping into the grave, you need to make sure that they understand that you are a one-issue voter. You're not a 2 or a 4-issue voter. You're a one-issue voter, and that issue is vaping. And if they don't turn around and do the right thing, then they better start looking for a new job. Okay? Period. End of quotation. So, yeah, we need to get on this, and we need to get on it fast. So I think it's probably close of business on the 20th when they're going to stop taking comments. So start blogging them, not blogging them, start emailing them, start tweeting them, start phoning them, show up at their offices, be very polite, be very kind, but let them know very stringently and very firmly that you expect them to do the right thing by vaping, and that if they don't, start planning your move now, because that's what's going to happen. Okay, so that's that. Now, the other day I started. I did some juicing, and well, this is, like I said, this is one of them. This is my creamy raspberry milk. This is an experimental. Got a couple of other ones over here that are also experimental. New York lemon cheesecake. This is totally different than my lemon lime cheesecake. It's similar, but this is using a new flavor, lemon Sicily, that I just recently got from DIY shop. Another one I got here. This is blue bilberry. Thank you, Jay, for all your help with this one, coming up with this, because I really had no idea where to start with it. And yes, I changed it around a little bit. I added a couple of things, so nah, you're not going to get anything on it. Since this is the holiday season coming up, I did creamy eggnog. This is not an experimental. This is well, this one actually could be classed as an experimental, because I did change a couple of minor things in here. So that one's coming up there. And then I have this one here. Jeannie, this is the reason why I was asking you all those questions about Soho the other night on your show. Right here. Okay. I did a couple of minor changes. If you are interested in it and you're a member of the DIY group on Facebook, you can check this out. I did put up a short recipe for that on there. That is an experimental, since this is the first time I'm playing with Soho, and so that is. I also got a picture up there when it was only about 2 or 3 hours old. It still had all of its foam and everything else in there. So, yeah. Um, Gee, what else was I going to talk about? Um, yeah, there was a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about, and geez, all right, this is getting on to about 30 minutes anyway, so um, yeah, I guess I'm just going to call it quits here. Um, Hopefully, I will have a full review up on this with probably in less than a week or so. Um, I've got a lot of things a couple of things I still have to figure out on this. Like I said, like the trying a lower ratio juice to see how that works in there. A couple of other minor things. So yeah, I want to check those out, and then I'll see about putting it up. The Mini 2 tank that I got in yesterday. I don't know if I'm going to do a full review on this or if I'm going to do a basically an update. I might wind up doing a full review on this and comparing this to the version 1 to give you an idea, because there are some engineering changes on here, most notably and prominently the airflow controls. The chimney on here is also different. The coil in here is different. So yeah, I may do a full review on that, just as an update, because there is sufficient enough on there to warrant a a full review on there. It's sufficiently changed enough. Um, on a personal note, Jeannie, I'm going to send you an email. I have a couple of tanks here and some coils that I would like to send to you for inclusion in your Isle of what's the name of it? Isle of Misfit or Isle of Lost Mods or something like that. I cannot personally afford to go shipping it out to individual people. I can only right now afford to send out one small package, and so I would appreciate it if you would take care of distributing this to those people who might need it. Um, these things are sitting here gathering dust. I've got a pack of 5 coils here that are brand new. I've got 3 of the Kanger unitanks, and an extra with coils in them, and one extra coil for each one of them. They're 1.8 ohm coils. I had bought a couple of extra for myself when I was using them. I have another one here that I'm going to be keeping for myself. Unfortunately, I used the boxes that they came in as small parts boxes, and the inset piece that's in there that goes in there supporting them for shipping and stuff like that got tossed out many moons ago. So I'll put them all up in a bag and ship them out to you, so you can put them up so they can find new homes, homes where people will greatly appreciate them. Like I said, instead of them sitting around here collecting dust and just feeling totally unwanted and unloved. So, yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. It's 34 minutes now into this thing, so I'm just going to chop out of here and take care of some other stuff. Go over listening to this thing before I put it up. I'm going to try not to do any editing on here unless it's absolutely positively necessary, so I don't look like a total jackass. So this is not going to get anywhere near the kind of heavy editing that I normally do on some of my other videos. So this is going to go up so very quickly. So with that, I'm just going to say, BC, do the right thing, get your butts out there, get these people to know that you Vape and you vote. Okay? Fight for your rights, guys. Fight for your rights. Okay? Pretty much that's it. Guys, take care. May the road rise to meet you, and may the wind be ever at your back. Take care and God bless. Bye now.